Partner Brian Horton, Detective Brian Horton. We're from the Child Abuse Unit, and we're talking about the case that involving the Bowie school teacher today. The things that I'd like to relay at this point in time are that the teacher has been arrested. She's been charged with two crimes, and one of those is sexual assault of a child, which is a second-degree felony. That charge has a $20,000 bond. The second charge is inappropriate relationship between student and educator, or educator and student. That also is a second-degree felony with a $20,000 bond as well. So she is still in jail at this time, and we have absolutely no reason to believe that anybody else is in any danger. This, based upon the investigation, does appear to be an isolated situation, and this was a relationship that developed over a short period of time while this Erica Gomez was a student teacher in math. And what she did, she taught for a period of time, and then she left prior to the beginning of the school year here. She left and went back home. She came back to Austin and was hired by Bowie and became a math teacher there. At that point in time, this relationship developed between her and a student, and which ultimately led to the inappropriate relationship where we're talking about the charges that were filed today. There is no reason for us to believe, based upon the investigation, that any other students were involved. As I stated before, this is an isolated situation. Do y'all have any questions?
The affidavit said that they were communicating pretty heavily on Snapchat. Is that something that you see commonly between cases like this, between teachers or educators and minors? Communication between social media?
So social media is a big factor in many of the cases involving this. It doesn't necessarily mean one over the other, the platform that's used, but social media is one of those areas of communication that is focused on, and that's something that we tell everybody: just make sure that you're monitoring social media sites and accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that a way to police? Can you police that, or do you just really just rely on parents? Like this came from the mother. You rely on them to bring you the information, and then you're able to go and investigate through the social media.
So I think it is important. I will say in this particular case, the family was very proactive in making sure that they were monitoring things. They were taking a lot of steps, things that they could. But as far as social media, you do want to do what you can to safeguard your kids and monitor those social media sites that you are aware of. I will say this, sometimes where there's a will, there's a way, and kids will get into and create accounts without the parents knowing and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of open dialogue and continuing to work with your kids to find out what they are using.
Can you talk about your interaction with this teacher a little bit? It seems like from what I read in the affidavit that she has admitted to most of this.
So yes, I mean, I did interview her, and there was a confession, and the confession corroborated the information that had been provided by the victim. So she also did corroborate that there is no concern for other victims. We have not seen any evidence to support that there was anybody else involved in this.
The app itself, Snapchat, is supposed to be like images and text that just have like a certain time frame that kind of disappears. My question is, how did they hold on to these messages?
So at this point in time, this investigation, as y'all can tell, this case came in pretty quick, and we've been working this. We are still actively involved in this investigation. This is less than 40 hours old and what we're dealing with, and there are some things that we aren't going to be able to discuss at this point in time just because of some things that we are still actively pursuing. That would be in that arena.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, guys.
I did want to clarify the bond amount.